Welcome back everybody, Mark here, and we're going to use lesson 15 to build lesson 16. And in lesson 16 we're actually going to add a level counter and a time to our game. So we can say that, level 1 is 60 seconds long or 30 seconds long. Level 2 is, the same amount of time. So kind of a challenge. How many balloons can we shoot each level? So let's go ahead and change one of the first things, which is our game speed. We actually want to change that to 50. And now basically, when our loop fires right now, that'll be every 20th of a second. So we're going to have a new variable called tick, and every time our loop fires, we'll add 1 to tick. And I'll show you how we build that. So let's go ahead and add some new variables right below score. And one of the new variables we're going to add, of course, will be tick. But we're going to actually be updating our UI. So one of the things we need to do is clear out that UI of any garbage data. So we're going to actually have blanks, as we're going to call it. And what blanks allows us to do is actually clear the UI of any data, and then we can go ahead, and I'm going to go with, let's say 1,000. That should clear it. And basically, if we have double digits that don't get cleared, this is how we clear them out. I've tried other ways. This is the best way to do it. So it'll work out the best for us. You just have to trust me there. I've played around with this a lot, and it took me a while to figure this out. But this works very well. So now we're going to add level, because we want to know what level it is, and let's set that to 1. We start on level 1. And we'll have a time, which will equal 0, and then tick, which will equal 0. So those are all of the new variables that we actually need. Our next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to our gaming world loop. So where we're actually looping through everything. And this is where we're going to actually do the tick. Because here in Start Gaming World, we're firing our loop every whatever our game speed is, and we set it to 50 now. So every 50 we're going to fire, boom, boom, boom. And what we're going to do when that fires is add 1 to our tick. So we're going to say tick equals tick plus 1. And then we're going to say if tick is equal to 20, which would be 1 second, then let me do the end if. That way we don't miss it later on. And let's see. So we're going to actually reset tick. So tick is going to equal 0. Tick equals 0. I like to put a space there. It doesn't matter though, but formatting. And then time equals time plus 1. So basically, every time we get to 20 ticks, we're going to add 1 to our time. So we're going to add a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that's it for that part of the loop. And then we're actually going to add a new subroutine. Go sub. And our new subroutine is going to be next level. So we're going to see, is it time to go to the next level? And we're going to be able to use our time for that. So, if the time equals 60, and we're going to do a lower number so we don't have to wait that long. But if time equals 60, check for next level. So we're basically checking, is it time to progress to the next level? So that part of the code is now correct. So the next thing we're going to update is our UI, because we added some new stuff here. And basically what we want to do is use our semicolon, space. Now I could say 60 here, but I'll still go 20 for now. So 20, semicolon, and then we'll say level, semicolon, semicolon, so colon, semicolon, and then level, our variable level. Then we'll do the same thing, space. We'll add 20 spaces. And then we're actually going to do our time. We'll use our colon, semicolon, then time. So that should update our UI. So that's going to do everything we want it to do. And we're going to have to clear that out. That's where garbage data can get stuck. And that's why we have that blanks. And I'll show you how that works. So that'll work very well for us. And I'll explain it as we get there, but you'll see that it clears it out real nicely for us. So now the next part is just adding the rest of our code for next level, which is all going to be done right at the bottom of our code. So let's go ahead and copy this. And we're going to put it right here. You guys have heard me talk now for quite a few episodes that, I like to go ahead and have these headers for organization. So check for next level. And then we'll add our branch label for next level. This is part of our subroutine. This will return. And then let's go ahead and add the other branch label we're going to need, which is going to be new game. And then we'll have that wait. So we're going to add new game there. So when we look at next level, we actually want to look at what we want to do and what we're going to change there. So with next level, we're looking to see what our timer is at. And so we can see it, like I was saying, we're going to say if time equals 10. And this is for testing, so we don't have to wait. And if. So we don't want to wait for the timer. We want to have shorter levels for testing, and then we can initialize the real time. So we'll do 10. But if our time equals 10, then level equals level plus 1. It's time to go to the next level. And then we'll use a case statement. We want to select our case level, so whatever the level is equal to, we'll do n select here. So whatever our level is equal to, we can actually have a case statement. So we'll do case 2, case 3, and then we'll have our default case else. Now you can see I didn't put in case 1. We could, but we're not going to use it. I mean, I'll put it here just for clarity, but we're not going to use case 1. We start at level 1. So it's only when we're going to go case 2. So if level is equal to 2, we need to reset our timer and our tick. So we need to stop the timer, pause the timer, display a notice, reset our tick, clear the UI, and then go to the next level. So to do that, we do timer 0. That stops the firing of our loop. Then we can use notice. We could have a window pop up and add some graphics. Just another separate window that looks real nice and cool. We could do that. We're going to do it the simple way for this tutorial, so it's a 20-minute tutorial versus an hour tutorial or an hour and a half tutorial. I find that smaller bites really are nicer to handle. And all we're going to say is you cleared level 1. Your score is. And then score. So that'll display our message. And then once we hit OK, we're going to reset tick back to 0, time back to 0, back to the default values. And then we're actually going to have to use the handle to our window, gamingworld.gbx, so the graphics box. And we're going to go to 1014, which is actually right where our text is. And then we're going to use the same gamingworld.gbx. And then we're going to say the same thing here that we do to actually draw our UI. We're going to use the straight up line, and then we're going to pass in blanks. So we're going to pass that right to it. That's going to clear out the UI, and it's going to look a lot nicer for us. So let's go ahead and copy this. And we're going to use this for case 3 as well. That way we don't have to keep retyping it. And we can say you cleared level 2. Your score is. And then it's going to go to level 3. Once you get past level 3, for right now, we're going to reuse this code. But we're going to say you cleared the game. Let's get rid of the number 1 there. So you cleared the game, your score is. And then we're going to reset everything. But what we're going to do is at the end of this, we're actually going to go to new game. So we're going to check if the user wants to play the game again. Now, in the case of level 2 and level 3, once we actually hit OK on the notice, we actually want to go to start.gaming world. And what this will do is restart our loop. So it'll start firing again. So the timer set to 0. This will reset everything for us so the game starts playing again, and now we're playing level 2 or we're playing level 3. So that'll reset that for us. And let's just go ahead and build new game here before we actually test it. So underneath new game, we're going to actually confirm. So this is basically a prompt. And we'll actually ask, do you want to play again? And then we have this local variable answer. And then we can say if answer is equal to yes, not US, yes, then we'll put our end if in here. So if it's equal to yes, we're going to reset everything. Level is going to equal 1. Score is going to equal to 0. Tick is going to equal to 0. Time is going to equal to 0 because we're resetting all of the values. We're setting them back there to their default. Kind of speaking too fast, need to slow down. We're going to recycle our reset of the UI, so we're just going to copy these 2 lines. And what we could do is instead of copying and pasting these like this, we could really make this a function. So we just call one line, this quick function that resets the UI. We could call it UI reset or whatever, and it could return. But this is how we're going to do this for right now. And then if we're actually going to play again, we're going to go back to start.gaming world. And then we're going to have an else. And our else is going to be, we're quitting. So play wave. And then we're going to close our gaming world. We're going to close our main window. And then we're going to end. Now, one thing I'm not doing here is unloading the sprites. So we should have a function that unloads the sprites. You see we have load sprites. So we should have a function that unloads cross H, R balloon, and bullet. Which that might be our next lesson is how to clean that up. But let's go here. I'm gonna save it. Let's just run it. Alright, see our timer is ticking. I'm shooting balloons. Fast, slow, they're coming back. There we go, 10. So you cleared level 1, your score is 10. So let me go ahead and hit OK. This should go to level 2. There we go, level 2. Ooh, that's a fast balloon. You can see our timer is still ticking up time. There we go. You cleared level 2. Your score is 24. So still shooting. You see here we're going up level 3. You cleared the game. Your score is 40. So that's pretty cool. So I hit OK. It asked me if I want to play again. If I hit yes, it reset everything and it's timing and the counter's still working. One thing to know is that we could go ahead and up the time here to 60 seconds now, so we could have a 1 minute level. And I'll leave it there for right now, but we could have a 1 minute level. You see how time is 10 right now? By using blanks to actually clear the entire UI across here, if we didn't use blanks, sometimes what happens is we get garbage data, which this 0 would stay. So 1 would count up. So when you went to level 2, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like you're counting by tens, and you're really not. You're only counting 1. It's just that the garbage data of 0 is staying there. So by using blanks to clear this UI, it fixes that issue for me. So just a good tip to have if you want a UI. And we could space this out now too. So let me close it. Let's go to our UI. Here's our UI. Instead of 20, let's do 60 and 60. I'll save that and I'll run it. There, it's spaced a lot nicer across the bar, pretty even. You see everything still works. Shooting balloons like crazy. We might put that back. Oh, and we might have it so you only have so many bullets. Maybe you have 30 bullets in 60 seconds to hit as many balloons as possible. So you can see we can make those changes. And where we would change that, let me close this. We'd actually just go down here to our next level, and we would say if time equals 60. So now that would be a 60-second level. So each level would be 1 minute. So I hope you guys really liked this episode. If you do, please hit that thumbs up button. Hope you're liking the series so far. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Thanks, guys.